Hey y'all, how you doing? I'm hanging in. It's been a rough week for me. I After my counseling last week, I've been doing a lot of ruminating, and I've come to the conclusion that I don't like the person that I've been. I've been the kind of person that I've always hated. No matter why I was that person, doesn't excuse the fact that I was still acting in a spoiled, self-entitled way, expecting everything to go my way simply because I felt it was owed to me. And I expected everybody to be the best versions of themselves, and didn't really think about how my actions were in this grand scheme of things, which, if I had given one small iota of thought, I would have realized that I wasn't being half the person I should have been. My therapy today was another rough session. Spent a lot of it crying. Not going to get into a lot of details, but between last week and this week, I brought up things that I've been carrying for 40 years that I've never told a single person ever until now. So it's been very emotional and very difficult. The the things I've done in my life bring me a lot of shame and guilt. Because they aren't things that rational people do. And I'm not the same person that I was then. And I realized that the things I did in those times were done because I was searching for love and acceptance, and I determined my self-worth by other people's views of me. And I tied my self-worth to how desirable I was. That's the only way I knew to do things, because that's what I learned. The prettier I was, the more attractive I was, the more attention I got, the more love I felt, the more acceptance I got. I equated sex with love and self-worth, because I didn't know any other way to see things, because I had no role models to teach me how to value myself. I mean, Dad did the best he could, but when he was in the Navy, he was gone a lot. And then when he was out of the Navy, he was working 2 jobs most of the time. And that left me with Mom, who was ill-equipped to handle her own life, much less be any kind of role model for me. So I literally had to wing it my entire life. And I did a pretty piss poor job at it. The one thing I know I got right was my boys. I raised 2 wonderful young men, and I am so proud of them, because I did not fuck them up. Not too badly anyway. Everything else, I fucked up bad. And it was all because I didn't know how to be a wife. I didn't know how to be a good wife, mother's sister, friend. I didn't have anything to say, okay, this is what that ideal model is that I can hold up myself to mimic. I had to make it all up as I went along, and I got being a mother down pretty good. I didn't do too bad on that, but being a wife and a friend and a sister, I fucked those up really bad. And I haven't slept very well this past week, because when you look at yourself, and it's like somebody has taken and flayed you open down to the core, and you see yourself that open. You either like it or you don't, and I don't like what I see. Let me rephrase that. I don't like what I saw in myself when I was younger. I have changed the person over the years that I've been, and I'm changing now. I'm doing all this work. I'm examining everything so I can try to be a better person and a better overall influence in everyone else's life, because I know I've been really shitty at it over the years, and I've never wanted to look at it very deeply, because then I'd have to acknowledge my own faults and take responsibility for the things that I've done. But I can take that account. I can be accountable for that stuff. That's okay. But it's gonna be harder to ask for forgiveness from people that I have treated horribly in my delusional thinking, because I need to ask for their forgiveness, and And I will ask, and I will try to make amends for what I've done over the years. I'm not, I'm not expecting, a tearful confession's gonna make everything all better, but I'm hoping it'll at least be the start of making a change for the better. I really, I have really been so clouded in my vision and judgment of myself. It's hard when you go from having those rose-colored glasses on to having them stripped off and looking at yourself bare and realizing, what you thought of yourself was just an illusion. But that's the first step for healing. I know why I've done the things I've done, and it's because I've been stunted in my emotional growth because of not having any of my needs met when I was a child. During therapy today, Jasmine asked me, she's like, think back to your childhood. She's like, do you recall any times when you were praised for anything? And I really don't have a lot of recollections of my childhood period, but I don't have any recollections of being praised for anything. I have quite a few memories of being scolded, told off, told I'm not good enough. I got quite a few of those. So I that is the basis that I come from and everything, is I don't know. I never really known what it's like to be accepted for who I am and being thought of as good enough, because I was never encouraged and never praised when I was a kid. So I didn't learn anything except being self-critical and expecting to be criticized at every turn. Yeah, that's another thing where I differ from my mother. You know, I did not harp on my boys about the bad. You know, of course, I was never pleased if they got bad grades in school. You know, they would have to, you know, work a little harder, but I didn't make them feel like they were horrible children for a bad grade. And certainly, if as long as the boys did their best, that is all I ever cared about. And I never forced them to go to college. It was more about what was going to make them happy. Sorry. That was my only concern, is I wanted them to follow their dreams and do what would bring them joy, not what would make me happy. Because it's not my life, it wasn't my life to live, it's theirs. And, you know, the paths they've chosen are extremely similar to each other, which is really surprising to me, but I'm extremely proud of both of them, and they have both made a world of difference in their lives and in each other's lives. So that's how I know I have not fucked up their lives in my ignorance and self-delusional states. But it's been really hard seeing yourself, the person you were, as the kind of person you've always disliked. kind of brings you down a bit. But I have to remember I honestly did not know any other way to be. I did not have any other tools in which to handle the situations I was in. I did not know any other way to handle anything. So, yeah, maybe I handled things very badly and was a shitty person at times. But luckily, I did not remain that person. I was able to change even before now. I was able to change that person I was, even without the deep insights that I'm getting right now. But at least now I can look even deeper into myself and understand why I was doing the things I was doing and why I made the choices I made, and understand that I made mistakes, but that doesn't make me a bad person. It just means I fucked up and I'm human. Damn fruit flies. Bastards. You know, I am human, and you know, I've had to be a certain way all my life just to survive. And I don't have to be that way anymore. I can start laying these burdens down and let them go. And start forgiving myself for the bad decisions and bad choices I've made. And just knowing I can be that better person now, thankfully. Counseling ain't for the fucking weak. I swear this shit's harder than some of the other crap I've been through. But it's worth it. I have to get through this stuff to be the better mom and a better person, so I can be a good Nona for my grandbabies, be a good mom for my boys and my girls, and just be an overall better friend, better everything. So I'm willing to do the work as hard as it is, and as much as I really don't like what I see, luckily I don't have to stay that kind of person. And I have not stayed that kind of person. I've changed a long time ago, thankfully. So I'm exhausted today. I really am. I'll say it again. Jasmine has gotten deeper inside my head than any counselor ever has. And I have let her know things about me that no one, and I do mean no one in this world, knows about me. I trust her implicitly. And I am extremely grateful for her help. She has made a huge difference for me. And, you know, that's saying a lot, because I've been with a lot of counselors and a lot of good counselors. But she really has been the one that, she has definitely been the best I've worked with. And I'm not going to say it's been easy telling her these things. But I have told her nonetheless. And I'm not gonna be just magically healed, but it's at least the first step on the road to healing. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I need to water my tarantulas, and then I'm probably going to go to bed early tonight because I am tired. I am exhausted physically and mentally. So if you've watched this, I really do thank you. I appreciate it. And I hope you know I love you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you have a great night. And I hope you have all the best. So, good night.